You need $400,000 income to buy a house in Santa Clara County to make it affordable. Right. San Jose, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara metro area, annual income of $408,000 is needed to afford a typical home sale and the highest in the nation. That's more than 8% higher than a year ago. Guess what? Our trend in Santa Clara County is about 8%. For a while, it was about 12 to 15% growth, 8%. That's about typical in this area. Why it's important for you to buy a house. I know people that 10, 15 years ago, they're like, I'm going to buy a house when the market crashes. They're still renting, and nothing personal, but that's just it. Said an annual income of 128 is needed to afford an apartment for rent in San Jose, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara. Consider a home affordable if the buyer is taking out a mortgage and spends no more than 30%. Now, it's usually 35%, and we go up to 45%. But yeah, wanted to show you this real quick, because I always have charts, all these exciting, fun charts. Let me break this open so you can see this. I'm going to move this over here. There you go. Pardon me. So this is a typical buyer's net sheet, a sample, one for visualization. This is not for use to close on a house. You're going to get one from a title or an escrow company that will actually be more accurate for you. I use this to help visualize costs, not exact costs. This is how it looks. Typically how it looks, but every cost is different because it's timing and dates. And okay, enough of that. The U.S. median income is 67. I know right now Santa Clara County is $200,000 a year. That's the median income right now. And if you bought a house today, the median priced house is 1,845, which has gone down dramatically over the last couple of weeks. That takes 73% of your income to purchase a house. You could buy $1 million house, which is a lot less, but just for this example, it would be 73%. So it would be unaffordable if you had median price. Good news is we're seeing the market to be a balanced market. If you made $400,000, as that article suggests, it's still 35%, not 30%. That's loan to income ratio. These numbers are completely off. This number right here, 35%, if it's a $400,000 income and a median priced house in Santa Clara County. Now, they're probably using more specific numbers, etc., so don't expect it to jive exactly. San Francisco is the next highest, just above us, shrinking gap. We'll talk about that in a second. The big picture across the U.S., Americans need to earn $116,000 to afford a median priced home for sale. So if you're an employer, understand that's where you need to be from a socialist point of view. But in order to make a living, if you're going to hire somebody, that's the projected income that they need. What they're saying is become increasingly challenging for American renters to make the shift to home ownerships. Again, if you did it 10 years ago, today is Wednesday. I'm actually back from my selling trip, by the way. That was amazing. I suggest you do it. Getting close to a balanced market. If you recall, I've said that we need to be at about 1,000 homes for sale in San Jose to make it a balanced market, not a seller's market, not a buyer's market, but a balanced market. Right now, we're at 711. In Santa Clara County, we need to be about 2,000, and we're getting close to it. When I say 2,000 or 1,000, I mean it could be 1,800 to 2,200, making it a balanced market. It's not a flood of inventory. It's just the market is slowing down, and we're in the middle. Actually, we're at the tail end of our selling season, and we're seeing the market slow down. If you can afford it, this is the time to do it. This is the time to buy. I just bought a house in Las Vegas for my parents. I'm taking advantage of this market. It's not a hot market. I don't have to spend $400,000 over list price to buy a house that I don't like. I don't have to pay a higher price. The higher the selling cost, the worse for me as a buyer. Okay. Now, if you're selling, it sucks for you, but if you're selling and buying, it's actually a good thing, because when you have lower selling costs, you're paying me less, you're paying the buyer's agent less, you're paying escrow, tax, and everything else less. You can buy a larger house. It doesn't matter if you're buying a larger house or a smaller house. I bought a smaller house than this. I had no competition. Offers are gone. The market has dried up a little bit. Buyers are being a little mamby-pamby. They're like, oh my God, 7%, it's so unaffordable. It is unaffordable, but if you can afford it, squeak by, you can buy $1 million house instead of a $1.8 million house, or get into a townhouse or what have you. Get into a house now because there's no competition, right? Real estate is like Little League soccer. Imagine this screen as Little League soccer. Everybody starts out, coach is yelling, play your positions. And all of a sudden the ball starts off, gets kicked, and then the ball goes over here, and all the kids run over here, and then they start scrambling for the ball, and there's nobody else playing their position. A new house is on the market, so all the buyers go over there. and they got to check it out. And the ball gets kicked over here. So everybody goes over here, and then the ball gets kicked over here, and then nobody's playing position. The analogy is you're looking for the new shiny thing, like a cat. And I'm like a cat too. We're all like cats where we're like, we want to play with that laser beam, right? Look for the houses that have been on market 30, 60, 90 days. They're not fresh. And if you're a seller, you got to get in this mindset. You're not going to get your house sold in 7 to 10 days right now because the market is not where it is, unless you price it really aggressively low for the condition, location. And the market is telling you right now, be low. Take what you get and move on. If you list it low and you attract 5, 10 buyers and you get offers in hand, then you don't have anything to worry about. You can pick the highest one. Who cares what it sells for, because less is more. You're paying me less, the buyer's agent less, escrow and taxes less. Let's say you had a house that was worth $2 million and you got 1.5. You have a $500,000 delta off the expectation of what you were going for. Now you can go and get $500,000 less on the next house. I'm going up to Sacramento tomorrow because we know we can get 7.5% off of a house if we buy this week. It's a new house, massive discount. We're going to go get that house. You don't pay a premium. There's no appraisal gap. And if you need to know that, there's videos galore about that. You can ask for repairs. You can ask for inspections. You can ask to make sure you get everything so your house is not perfect, but better, right? Again, you have lower closing costs. You have lower property tax. So this is good. When we're going into a balanced market, this is what we've been waiting for the last few years. 4 years ago, 2020, 2021, we were in a firestorm. We had 25 offers on every house, and you were getting $300,000-$400,000 over list price. And that was great for sellers. But then they had to take that money and buy something else, and they had to compete. Right now, there's hardly any competition, especially if you're looking for houses that have been on market for over 60, 70, 90 days. And yes, right now we're at a balanced market. Mountain View, home of the week is Calderon, and not my listing, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,800 square foot, built in 1997. I picked it is because it's walking distance to Castro Street. See a trend here? Keep on looking at houses that are close to a downtown, a Main Street, USA. Calderon is an avenue, meaning it's a semi-busy street. So that's why they priced it a little bit lower, 2.8. Let's take a quick look. Oh, these are dark pictures. I love the box brownie look. And, it's a standard house, looks nice. I wonder if it has an HOA. No HOA. That's beautiful. Original list price is 2.888. Now they're down to 2.8. We're seeing more homes sit on market longer, and we're seeing far more list price decreases. If you're interested in looking at it, let me know. Go take a look at it. Homes near Apple, I picked Mallard Way. This is walking distance to the Apple campus, to the space. 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square feet, built in 1961. Fairly updated, 2.99888, and it's brand new. How many days on market? 8 days on market. So we're seeing houses in Cupertino last 8 days. That was unheard of a year ago, 2 years ago. This is an updated house. It's a pretty house. It has a nice little ADU thing, shack back there. There you go. $3 million. This is distressed home of the week. I would love to have this house. $1.8 million, Monroe Street. I sold a house on Monroe a few years back. 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,600 square feet, built in 2024, which I'm calling BS. But here you go. I don't know why it's there. Monroe is right there. You're close to everything. Santa Clara University. Let's take a quick look inside. Maybe they rebuilt it. No, this is a circa 100. Look. You can take a look and see this one's ganked up, beat up, needs some love. Let's keep an eye on this one. It looks like a wall heater. The vents tell me that there's HVAC. This is a 100-year-old house. It has access to an attic. That's cool. I'm sure that it has a basement too. Probably have access to it. That was an add-on right there, with or without permits. Wow, that's a whole lot of house. This is a perfect example as to why there used to be attached garages and now we have detached garages. Back in the day, you used to have horse and buggy, right? The buggy would stop, you would offload right here, you get into your house, and then your husband or your stableman, depending on how wealthy you were, would take the buggy and the horse into the garage or into the stable. That's why we had detached garages, because we wanted to keep the smell of the horses far away. Pretty amazing, huh? And now